Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay? I just need to do a sound check to make sure it's okay. If the sound isn't okay, I can go ahead and try again, but I just need you folks to tell me if we have good sound. Hello. Can you hear me? Ooh, cooking brunch. Hello, darling. Hello. Loud and clear. Oh, awesome. Ooh, my blush needs to get blended. Well, hello, my fellow sensitive people. It is I, the Oracle of Whimsy, the alter ego of the good doctor, Dr. Whimsy, the Oracle of Whimsy. Yes, I was first conceived in an ancient riverbed, in a land far away from here, next door to Honolulu. Well, let's get started. My goodness, we have so much to talk about. The truth be told, we have so much to go through. This is going to be a busy, busy, busy. We have a message from Putin. I know. You guys get scared when Putin comes in because he's so forceful. And we also have a message from Meghan and Harry. For those of you who I couldn't figure out why he showed up again because I felt like I had done my job. Like, why is Meghan and Harry? Why are you showing up again, Harry? You don't need me anymore. You're free. You're unchained. He only had to float around in the astral realm talking to me when he was muzzled, but now he's not muzzled. So why did Harry show up? But anyway, he came and said a quick hello to us. And so, yeah, things to expect from Harry. He wants to grow his hair out. What do y'all think? I was doing my morning meditation the other day, and Harry Windsor showed up, and his hair in the morning. My goodness. His hair is a big frizzy red afro in the morning. And he had one piece that he can't control that was going all the way out like this. And he had another piece growing all the way out like this. And I said, Harry, what's going on with your hair? He said, I'm thinking of growing it out. It's very long. It turns into, I can't really describe what it turns into. He needs to have it cut very close, chop, chop, and held tight, because if he doesn't, it goes. So yesterday when I was doing meditation and just inviting people to come in, he showed up and his hair was like, and I was, whoa, I've never seen your hair. It's really long, Harry. He says, yeah, that's how it gets. It's in the morning. He hadn't brushed it yet. It's a whole process, he said, to get his hair. He said he wants to look like Archie. He wants to look like Archie. Archie's starting to have some challenges with his hair, just like Papa. So maybe they're going to both let their hair grow a little cray-cray. But that's cool if it makes him happy, right? So expect to see longer hair on Harry. He's an Aboriginal anyway. He wants to just be as natural as possible. No, if he could go dreadlocks, he would, because he's just a la the more natural, the better, right? All right, so before we get started, short hair is best. In the next couple pictures, just to give you a heads up, he doesn't even want to brush it. It was like, hello, Dr. Wims. I'm like, whoa, I've never seen you like that. Your hair is really long. So I don't know why. I mean, it seems like a strange thing to show up and talk about, but yeah, what do you think that means spiritually? And that he would stop growing. I don't know. I think he's just like his wife. They're just yoga. They're into yoga. She's mostly vegan. I mean, they just don't want to put on airs, man. They just want to live natural, right? Yeah. A little bit of fluff, and that's it. Just a go. He doesn't want to bother with all of the crazy, right? I think it's kind of fun to be like that, but I can imagine the royals being mortified. Oh God, what has he done to his hair? We used to have 2, 3 people coming into clip, but now he's letting his hair go. All right, if you haven't had a chance to do so yet, be sure and share, like, subscribe, join. If you want to support this channel, we have a really cool Fairies and Angels, very inexpensive for $2.99 a month. We get together and we come up with healthy, frugal, spiritual things to do together. We also have spa day now, psychic spa day. Let me know which day you want it to be. We all get together and we spa ourselves. We have nice drinks. We dress really comfy. We talk, we hang around, the ladies and gentlemen and we spa ourselves and we give ourselves private readings. And so if you decide to join that group, you can get yourself a nice 5-minute reading. And yeah, so it would be great if you could join us for Fairies and Angels, and be sure what day you'd like to show up for spa day. Have a little spa. We can all take care of ourselves a la natural, like natural living. We'll give you some great natural spa tips, and we'll do some blitzes for people. Private. That's when we do the private blitzes for people who cannot afford a private. But if you do join the Fairies and Angels for $2.99, and you come to our spa days, we can get your question answered usually in about 5 minutes. Oh, there's so much to talk about. Let's first start with the remote viewings. We already did one on Harry and his hair. What do y'all think about Harry and his hair? Do you agree with him that he's just done with all that product and all that crazy to make it look nice? I mean, it's either that or he's going to have to crop it very close. It's just too much of a bother for him. All right. The first, did you all enjoy, by the way, Mila watching the Motown? I've gotten really into Motown because I got to lose some weight. And the best way to lose weight is Motown, if you guys don't know this. And I love the dance style of Motown. So what I like to do is I like to turn on Pandora Motown and clean. And then Mila, I've started noticing she's learning how to swish her tail to the Motown beat. So my favorite Motown song is Standing on the Wall, Get Your Back Up on the Wall. So my friend Renee and I were singing it in the car, and we were doing our moves, and I actually did so many moves in the car that I actually pulled my iliopsoas, because those old dance moves just aren't what they were when I was a teenager. So we were driving in the car. We went to the posh 99-cent store. Actually, we went to a crappy one, and then we went to a mediocre one. And, we're comparing the various different Dollar Tree stores based on, various different things. But anyway, and then we went and had we wanted to have a cheeseburger, but we're both conscious about weight and health. So we said, you know what? We're going to take that cheeseburger and we're going to cut it in half so that we only have 50%. So we're going to reduce the caloric intake by 50%, but we can still enjoy a burger and fries, half a small portion, half. And then to fill ourselves up, we ordered a large Caesar, but it wasn't with the creamy dressing. It was with a very light homemade dressing from McMenamins, which is just a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of lemon, and I think they put just a hint of anchovy. I don't think there's any egg in it. And so it was extremely light. And even that was like too much fat for us. But yeah, it was delicious. All right. Are you ready for the remote views, everybody? Gosh, it's good to see everybody. Let me first off, give gratitude, you all, and tell you a little bit about today's charity. Hello, Marie Wells. Great to see you here. Naomi M. is in the house. Redwoods, welcome back. Donna Stevenson, Roxanne. We love Roxanne. Dundro, great to see you again. Greeter TK, we love you. We need you, and we're glad you're here. Yeah, Laura Carlson's in the house. Hi. I think I've said hi to Marie Wells already. Annika Loughlin, good to see you here. Connie Morris, Miss Patricia as well. Welcome, welcome, great members. Boris No, great member, and also a great remote viewer. We have several remote viewers that are going to be graduating first level, second level, and we're getting our first certifications to teach. And now what's exciting is that the psychic channels and Alignable, etc., have started to put in HCRV as a type of remote viewing. So we're now officially recognized as a type of, give yourselves a round of applause. You all made that happen. By the way, all the students, it's now a recognized form of remote viewing. That is a service you can offer if you are trained. So I'm very proud of all of you. And I still need help creating the protocol. Hopefully those of you, we have a couple people getting a teaching certification. We can have some Zooms and start to really turn this into something really positive. Sound good, everybody? Yeah. All right. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is something that I'm sure you'll all find interesting. Hi, Carol. Good to see you here. And that is the death of the Trump organization. Okay. So this is the first remote I had today. It was kind of interesting because I actually found myself laughing about this remote. I'm sorry, not that I'm going to want to laugh at anybody suffering or anything like that, but the remote seemed to say that what is ultimately going to take down the Trump organization isn't even the criminal investigations. The main thing that's going to be taking down the Trump organization is civil lawsuits. Civil lawsuits. And that's because so many people are privately suing the Trump organization and Trump for a multitude of things. But specifically, we're going to be seeing a mountain of lawsuits. And for that reason, it's going to become almost impossible for them legally to defend themselves against this multitude of civil lawsuits. Thank you for the $20 donation to Southern Poverty Law Center. We are an entertainment channel, but we are also a philanthropic channel. And together we collectively decide where we are going to raise money. So today we're blitzing, and we're playing based on your request. You always tell me where to put the money. So I'm working today on behalf of the, I love that. I love you guys send me off. I feel like a little soldier for goodness. I do. I feel like a soldier for goodness. You lead me. You guys lead me. It's really true, actually. But anyway, so I am playing with you for the Southern Poverty Law Center, which is a great organization. It's been around for quite a while, fighting the good fight, helping America's most vulnerable with legal cases, lawsuits, etc., so that we can begin to make this country a more perfect union where everyone's human rights are recognized. So we want to give a shout out to the Southern Poverty Law Center and all the wonderful work. They just called me actually last week and said, "Hey, Dr. Whimsy, where's that check?" I said, well, it's coming through YouTube this week. So we'll run that till the end of the month, I think. Sound good? All right. So regarding lawsuits, it looks like there's a series of lawsuits against the Trump organization by employees and people who feel that they were molested or violated by the Trump organization. So we're seeing this mass of lawsuits. These are the kind of lawsuits that have come up in the past against Trump. Examples would be Gloria Allred, for example. She had several clients who'd been victims of Donald Trump, but also if it took place at the Trump organization or a Trump organization event, you can be sure that Gloria Allred and people like Gloria Allred are going to be there helping with those civil lawsuits. And so things have changed, right? Things are changing. And I think that a lot of people are jumping ship with the Trump organization. So you have, it makes me think about Don Jr. and Kimberly Guilfoyle, right? when this whole ship goes down, what do you think Don Jr. and Kimberly Guilfoyle are going to be doing when this goes down? It's going to be a change of tune, isn't it? So here is my rewrite of Don Jr. and Kimberly Guilfoyle at the January 6th. But this is after the lawsuits with Gloria. So without further ado, Gloria, I think I still got your number, but I really can't remember. Oh, Gloria. So that was my Kimberly Guilfoyle impersonation. Gloria, I think I still got your number, Gloria, but I really can't remember. So please call me Gloria. Yeah, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. And the interesting thing about the Trump organization being all these civil suits is that there are just only so many lawyers. Don't you like my version? Gloria, Gloria, I think I still got your number, but I really can't remember. Help me, Gloria. Unfortunately, she has also been sued for sexual harassment. So I don't think Gloria is going to help Kimberly Guilfoyle or Don Jr. when all of this stuff goes down. But that is probably the end of the Trump organization. Hope you all had a good laugh at that. I was rehearsing in the bathroom. Gloria, Gloria. Okay, so did you all have a good laugh at that? All right, so the next thing, I know you love him. I know you love it when he comes through, but I had a very nice conversation with Vladimir Putin, and boy, did he spill the beans. Now, as you know, Putin, I did a profile this morning. I know, what a waste of a gongyo. You know, I was doing I was doing my morning prayers, and then I went into meditation, and Putin came in. So Putin is meeting with, y'all know that Putin is meeting with Biden, right? So they're having a meeting. And so I thought, okay, everybody's going to want to know how that meeting goes down. So I'll be a good little soldier. And I'll go down and I'll do a profile. I use the short technique. Why not? What the heck? I got nothing better to do on a Sunday, right? And then I got a very strong, as what we do in HCRV, it's based on Vajrayana Buddhist types of meditation, is we attempt to become one with the target. And so for all intents and purposes, we are the target, right? And the target was Vladimir Putin. So here's what he says. The meeting, to give you a heads up about the meeting he's going to be having with Biden, he says, first and foremost, it's very obvious. He says what he wants is the Ukraine. So if you want him to get out of your business, if you want him to not be a part of this, all you have to do is get out of the Ukraine. It goes back to what he had said in the past. I want my trade routes. I want my trade routes. I'm not going to stop until I get my trade routes. Give me my trade routes. How many times do I have to repeat myself? Get the hell out of Afghanistan. Get the hell out of Syria. And now he is saying he's not going to stop until you give him the Ukraine. He's very specific. I want the Ukraine. So this person is very determined. He's not going to stop. There's going to be a buildup. And I will back down when you do everything that I told you I wanted. I want you to get the hell out of Libya so that I can build my train and rail system. I want you out of Iraq. I want you out of Syria. I want you to stay the hell away from Iran. I'll take care of Iran. They're unstable, but I can control them because I'm the one selling them weapons. I want you out of the Ukraine and Eastern Europe and out of my pipeline. So he says that he wants control of the Ukraine. He said that this has to do with disputes that have to do with trade and violations by the United States and bullying. And that is why he did what he did. He said he's going to be very specific here. He said he wants his oil, land, and water rights returned. Evidently, we were supposed to grant them access, even though they had pulled back, we were going to continue to allow them to have trade in these areas. And then after they pulled back, we allowed Saudi militia and militia from other countries, and also backed by the U.S., to go in and start hijacking and harassing Russians that were trying to do trade in the area. And this is what happened in Chechnya, according to him. But he said that he wants America to do what they said they were going to do. He wants the return of his oil, land, and water rights. He said, you're in violation internationally of the right of commerce and the right to move my trade. And he said, furthermore, I think I'm being very reasonable because I'm offering to pay for it. I am offering to pay for the army and security necessary in order to move my trade. I asked him if he could elaborate about the issue of the pipeline, the oil, because, people are getting out of oil and the profits from the oil. He said, first off, he doesn't think that the main motive for him, he said, was not profits from the oil. It's like Putin feels like Americans are slow and they need to keep up, America. Come on, wakey. There's so much you don't know. He said, first off, the oil is not the issue. It wasn't about me making oil and sending oil into Europe. You're missing the whole point. It's not about the oil, America. It's about breaking the back of OPEC so that Europe has another option, because OPEC and the Arab control of that area has led to a destabilization and prevented other forms of trade. And they've also been terrorizing my trade routes. So the oil is doing more than just creating oil for these countries. It is breaking OPEC, which has been terrorizing us long enough. It's about power, and it's about shifting the power and the control of OPEC. And OPEC has actually been something of, as far as he's concerned, a terrorist organization that's been funneling the money and the profits into terrorism and basically bullying everybody for a long time. So he wanted it to be clear that it wasn't about the oil. It was about destabilizing OPEC and what he calls their terrorist control. I asked how he was doing with his health. People had said that they were concerned that Putin had multiple sclerosis or something like that. He said, no, I do not have multiple sclerosis. He was very specific. He was very specific here. Putin said, I don't have multiple sclerosis. I have nervous system problems because I've been poisoned by ricin. That's new information. He said that he was poisoned by CIA operatives working from within his community, and that he's been poisoned 3 times. The second time, it was like he got a double batch. They hit him with ricin, and then they hit him again. I said, how are you being treated? He said that it attacked his nervous system and his kidneys, and that he was placed on dialysis and chelation therapy in order to treat for the ricin damage. But he's still not completely well, and he still has some neuropathy from it. But basically, he wanted us to know that he had been the victim of a poisoning, and that he had actually been poisoned 3 times. And he's accusing the CIA of basically encouraging it. So people close to Putin who had access to ricin, his own people, poisoned him. And he was poisoned 3 times. He was poisoned the first time, he survived it. The second time they hit him, and then they hit him a second time, hoping that they would take him out. And the last time they hit him, that was when he had serious problems and probably had to go through something like a chelation therapy and possibly dialysis. So that's what happened to Putin. His own people poisoned him. What do you think about that? That's new news, huh? You surprised by it? I mean, I was surprised. I mean, I don't know. All right, so and the last thing has to do, like I said, I did a thing on Harry and Meghan. They're doing very, very well. Some interesting private things about Meghan. She said that they're on a budget, and it's kind of funny to show her husband how to do budgeting, and they've had some laughs about it. The family budget. It's uh, she's funny, Megan. She said she has them on a budget, that they're very frugal. She has no problems shopping at TJ Maxx, which is where they get their clothes, and sometimes stuff gets gifted to them, which is cool. And she's really been focusing on number one, getting their budget in order, and they're on a very strict budget. Number two, being frugal, teaching him frugality. And number three, they're investing quite a bit so that they can be as independent as possible. She really does remind me of RBG in the sense that she was raised to be an independent woman. She's very independent, just like her mother. And just like RBG, she relies on no one and needs no one. And she imagines that that is why people hate her. I'm a woman of color who needs no one and relies only on myself, who's educated, a philanthropist, and I can take care of myself without relying on anyone else for money or anything else. And consequently, that is why some people hate her. She said that she comes from a strong line of matriarchs that are powerful people and powerful women. And so she has always known that she could only rely on herself. And so that was why she was able to walk away from being a royal. When the queen dies, yes, she will absolutely attend the funeral. She was asked about that. She will most certainly attend because personal arguments, etc., have to be put aside. There, she will be there. She will attend the funeral. She also said that if they've done a lot to prep when the time comes. She said that Wills, they call him Wills, William will be the main person that will be taking control of that, even more so than Charles. She said that it's going to be a very unusual transition to Prince Charles. And that's because she said that William and Charles are actually going to be, in a sense, ruling together. And that was a decision that was made by Charles and William, that they really felt that they wanted to bring a new air, a fresh air a fresh energy into the royal family. So in a sense, expect to see William and Charles ruling together, kind of side by side in a most unusual arrangement, but one that recognizes the cultural and generational shifts. She also said, this is coming from Kate, excuse me, now I'm working with Kate. Kate said, she also said that in addition to William stepping up and helping with the transition and working alongside his father in a most unusual arrangement, Kate said that expect to see a far more liberal royal family going forward, a more liberal monarchy. In fact, we will be the most liberal and the most green-friendly royal family in the royal family's history. She said also expect for Charles to give up some power because of this was kind of the spiritual issue for Charles, was that he was a bit of a control freak. He didn't want to argue with people. When he told you to do something, you did it. That has shifted for him, older and wiser. And so part of why he's giving a lot of power to his son is because that didn't happen to him. He was not prepared. He was put aside, and there were some problems with that, and he wants that not to happen to William. So he's pulling back a lot, and it's going to feel like they're both ruling at the same time. And so part of his, spiritual growth, Charles, is learning to let go of power. Expect some really remarkable things from Kate Middleton. She's really a remarkable woman. I really like her very much. She's specifically going to be really driven to help vulnerable children. She's very active in helping with things like post-traumatic stress disorder, etc. She shares that same vision. As I had said in previous remotes, Harry was very much involved in that, helping particularly early childhood development. And now Kate has started the 0 to 5 program, which pretty much mirrors the remote view when Harry had talked to us through that profile. All right, those are the remotes. Does anybody have anything they'd like to say or ask about the remotes? Pretty cool, huh? Gloria, I think I still got your number. That's fun. All right. Well, that's the whole point, right? I mean, Putin is saying, yeah, we're going off oil, but Rachel Maddow, you're missing the point. I'm trying to break the back of OPEC, which has been terrorizing the world and Eastern Europe and making life hell. And and taking the money from your profits and building Wahhabi mosque. And this is why we're doing oil. We want to be free and we want to break the backs of OPEC because you are terrorists. And America's been propping up terrorist states for years simply in order to make money off oil. So that is why we had to get into oil. We had to get into oil because of the dirty business of oil. He's not saying he's a saint. He's saying, yeah, they're going to make money, but you're not seeing the whole picture. According to Kate, this came from Kate, William and Harry will rule in a most unusual way. So you'll be seeing more cooperation between the two generations than we've ever seen before. And she promises us, this is from Kate, I promise you that what you will see is the most liberal monarchy in its history, and we will also be the most economically green. So I'm holding her to it. And, it goes back to what she had said to Megan in a private conversation. We did a remote, and she had said, the choice is ours. We have some power while we are alive to control what they say about us. We have choice. So I think we're going to start seeing them putting their differences aside and working together. But I love seeing that, and I really like Kate, and I really like what she's saying about human rights and she really cares. I love that woman. I really do. I love Kate Middleton, just because I've been in her energy, and I just love it. All right, would everybody like to get the group message today, the group reading? I didn't expect to like Kate because I don't know anything about her, but then when I went into her energy, it's like, you're a really awesome person. I like you very, very much. I can see why your husband married you. She's a really lovely woman. Well, they're style mavens, and if they go walking around in an eco-friendly or vegan coat, then everybody's going to want it. So they do have power. They have the power of the press and the power to create change, just like Princess Diana wanting to remove landmines that were blowing children's legs off in Vietnam. So they do have power. They have the power of the press. Oh, thank you, Anonymous, for donating $10 to the Southern Poverty Law Center. That is our charity today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can, but we're going to do the community reading today. How's that work for you guys? You like to get a community reading? I like both of them. I like Harry, I like Megan, but I also like Kate very, very much. William, he's a little slow on the uptake. He'll get there. All right, let's do it. Yes, we're going to do we'll do the empath prayer. Thank you you guys keep me on my toes. Thank you, Anonymous, for that donation to the Southern Poverty Law Center. Okay. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys, to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those we may have strife with. And together collectively we say, Amen. Thank you, Christopher, for that lovely donation to the Southern Poverty Law Center. I appreciate you. It's so funny because when you go into Harry's energy, he's like, yeah, my mother-in-law is just like my mom. That must be causing the Tories. Same ethics, same values. I know people that were friends of Princess Diana, like Israel Zohar. He was a friend. He was the royal portrait artist. He said that the most remarkable thing about Princess Diana, he'd never met anyone like her. She had no concept of prejudice or racism. He found it absolutely fascinating. She didn't see color, she didn't see race, she didn't see age. She really treated everybody the same, and she really was fascinated with everybody's story. It's very rare to find someone like that. She was a rare bird, right? She was rare. But he said she had no concept of it, no concept of class. She literally saw everyone just, what's your story? Very rare woman. Okay, let's take a look. What is our reading today? I'm a moon in Aquarius, yes. Oh, that's cool. Charles is giving up power, so that's good. Some people want to hear about the royals, so sometimes I cover it. I don't mind. It's just that Harry showed up showing off his crazy hair in the morning. He should just come out and do a press conference straight out of the bed without doing anything to his hair. I think it's pretty funny to look at. Because it all comes out like this, and he has to do this in the morning he just has to cut that. There's this one, I have a widow's peak too, so I know what he's dealing with. My hair also goes like that. Must be funny in the morning to wake up with him and have him just, I bet they have a lot of laughs about it. All right, where we are at right now. Ooh, new relationships for everybody. So expect some new relationships, people. Some of you are going to be involved in romance if you want it. The thing is I would be very careful about getting into any committed relationships or marriage, etc., until you may just want to live with them and not have a contract. Be very careful about any legal marriages you're entering into right now or anything like that, because some of you are entering into some serious relationships, but you want to be careful you don't put yourself in a situation that you can't get out of. We all want to be loved, but the good news is you can negotiate. You can negotiate what you want. In terms of a relationship, you don't have to feel like you're being carried away by your romantic relationships. You can say, okay, folks, okay, fiance or boyfriend or girlfriend or whoever, you have to be able to say, this is what I need so that I don't feel like I'm trapped in a situation I can't get out of. And that goes for any type of relationship you have to be in. My concern here with this type of juxtaposition of the cards for the group is that people still want to be in these types of, intimate relationships, and rightly so. Love and romance and intimacy is important, but you want to be careful you don't make the same mistakes you have in the past. You don't want to mute yourself. You don't want to sit back and just take it and say, well, I don't want to be accused of being a witch or something like that. You have to be able to stick up for yourself, because intimacy is also about healthy boundaries. Be careful in your relationships with family and friends, letting people back into your life. You can see I'm using my old, you can see the stains. This is my senior deck. This deck is almost 30 years old. So yeah, love is important, but be careful where you're at right now. Ooh, strong energy coming in for people regarding investments, watching your money. I think this is because the stock market has gone down, and also we're seeing that I saw that fall was going to be a little rough. We also saw a big dip in the crypto. Thank you, Lisa R., for donating $10 to the Southern Poverty Law Center. You see here, watching your business, holding your coin, concerned about finances being central right now. Ugh. Some people's investments, some of the private investing, or some of the investments, you're going to have to take a look at what your finances are right now and figure out what is making money and what is going to be stable, etc. I wouldn't walk away from anything while you're in the hole. Wait and see if the money comes back again if you do have investments. But you can see a 5 of Swords here, which would indicate that if you're not seeing profits from any type of work you're doing or investing, you may want to put it aside. A lot of you are getting really actively involved with your passions, your bliss, what you care about. I really think our loyalties, our sense of right and wrong is really going to dictate where we put our money in the future, how we live our life. Wow, this reminds me of what happened to Diane, where her soulmate returned and she had grown up next door to him. And then here she is so many years later, finally returned to her soulmate. You can see in the third house, 6 of Cups, an old love returns. And this doesn't necessarily mean you know him. It could be like a past life connection or something like that. Here's the thing. If we mute ourselves, if we hold back, if we don't stand up and say, look, this is who I am, this is who Whimsy is. She's a cranky old Jewish Aries with a hot temper, but she's got a heart of gold. Either you accept me or you don't. I do my best, but if this isn't working for you, I'm not going to mute myself and play small in order to get you to love me. I'm not going to pay your rent for you. I've done that. I'm not going to pay off your bankruptcy. I've done that. What you see is what you get. And if this isn't working for you, I wish you all the best. But I'm not saying don't compromise. I'm saying you should not make yourself small in order to be loved by other people. And you shouldn't have to pay people to love you. I'm concerned here about finance overlapping in private relationships, being taken advantage by family members and people close to you. I really feel that this is a time in our lives when, see what you're coming out of, betrayal by those you trusted in the 5th house. Stand up for what you believe in, even when communicating with past loves and soulmates. And your future is you will have a happy marriage if you want it. But what's interesting is that the happy love and the happy marriage comes with boundaries and saying, I love you. I know you're not the enemy, Joe or Bob or Harry or Martha or Tina or whoever this person is. But I love you, but that's crossing a line for me. Can we, and if a person doesn't hear no, you can raise your voice a little bit, right? But we don't, everything is not a major attack. Calm down. It's just a little conversation. Now, if they don't hear you when it's a whisper, then you might have to raise your volume. But 7 of Wands, fighting the good fight, standing up for what you believe, coming out of betrayal and entering into loving relationships and happy family. Old loves returning. It's also an attempt, perhaps by people who have done you wrong in the past, to make it up to you. Miss Patricia, thank you for the $20 donation to the Southern Poverty Law Center. And again, here you can see old loves returning, not wanting to be trapped in a situation you cannot get out of. That includes red tape or possibly a legal situation. This time in your life is also about learning, studying, and exploring your own career. It's like unalignable right now. I sent out an invitation, not because I wanted to terrorize people, unalignable, but because I wanted other women and men who have small businesses to refer one another. Let's help each other in this community. If you do carpentry, I can hire you. If you need a remote viewer, you can hire me. If you want me to recommend a remote viewer in your area that's been certified HCRV, we have them now. And I can refer you to somebody in your area. So that's It's just about everybody being the master of their own domain, right? Everybody being the best we can, fighting the good fight, standing strong in our ethics. That's how we become happy, not by compromising our fundamental values. The others in relationship to us must carry the load. I think the people who have caused us pain, the people we're having conflict with, have created their own problems for themselves, because there's no such thing as a free lunch. There's no such thing as being able to take the easy road. You either do the work, step up to the plate, and own your actions and own your ethics, or you're going to continue to have problems. You can see the opposition to you is carrying a heavy load, and not necessarily in a good way. This is backbreaking. Could also be that this individual and all of their problems and their inability to handle their problems continues to be their problem, but it's not your problem. It's not in your environment. It's in their environment. Your hope and your fear, Two of Pentacles, your financial situation, not trusting people, being taken for a ride financially, con artist. I had to talk to Xfinity Comcast again today because I canceled 3 weeks ago, but guess what? They put it as pending someday. So I spent 3 hours trying to get a hold of somebody on Comcast. Finally got a hold of them and told them to cancel my TV. And so they marked it as pending. So that someday, in another world, at another time, they're going to cancel my TV. So I did my whimsy thing. I said, well, guess who I am? I am so-and-so, and I'm on YouTube, and I'm coming after you. My time is precious to me. I told you 3 weeks ago what to do. I told you to cancel my TV. So the guy says, so you want to cancel your Xfinity Comcast? I said, no. This is the third time. This is 3-4 hours later. No, that's not what I said. I said, I don't have a TV. I don't watch TV, and to stop charging me for the TV. Yes, it's pending. We want you not to cancel my, it just went on and on. We're going to send you to a supervisor. This was supposed to be taken care of 3 weeks ago, right? So it's more of that BS of people jerking you around, taking control of your money, holding your credit cards. It's just connery, tricksters, betrayal, people ripping you off. So it went all the way to the supervisor, in my case. And then I told him I was going to use my power in social media to complain. And then the supervisor came on and said, all the previous charges are going to be reversed, and we're going to give you this price, and you pay by month, and you're not, they gave me this really great deal. And I said, great, take care of it now. I was so mean. I said, you have 1 minute to fix this, and the timer is starting now. And I literally turned on the timer. Well, I don't know. I said, you now have 50 seconds. You now have 40 seconds. You now have 30 seconds. The person actually did it within 1 minute. I don't want to have a conversation like that with an American business. I want you to do what you said you were going to do without trying to screw over a customer. Be ethical in business. So mastery. The others in relationship with us must carry a heavy load. Our hopes and concerns, con artists, trickery, being taken for a ride. The final outcome of us, we emerge strong. You have the right to fight for your rights, not be taken advantage of, not be betrayed without feeling like you've done something wrong. The other person who has put you in that situation has done something wrong. Here's the good news. The people who you are done with, the people who you have had problems with, are going to have to do some serious soul searching, and they're going to have to take a serious look at their financial situation, their spirituality, and their financial situation, because the people you are having problems with, Four of Pentacles, which is the Buddha card, examine yourself before you can get on to the next journey regarding heavy load you have to carry. And Four of Pentacles is also a frugality card, holding the coin. Look in the mirror, look in the mirror, look in the mirror, examine the nature of your own existence. I call it the Gohonzon card, the Butsudan, being in front of your altar and examining the nature of your life. Some people, some relationships you have, former lovers, former relationships have unfortunately come to an end. They're not repairable. The hope and the fear clarified. Lovers, former relationships results in Four of Swords in the grave. If people are not on your level, they're not on your level. Time to move on. If they're never going to change, the point is you're done. You're done because you know who you are. You know what the worth is. You've snapped out of that whole BS victim bashing crap that was never spirituality. And it certainly wasn't Buddhism. And you're fighting the good fight, right? All right. So we're now going to do some blitzes. If I get the order. I haven't gotten the order yet. Boa. Good for you and a mazel tov, mazel tov. Well, if you were lucky in love and you now have the love of your life, you have probably worked through a lot of the stuff that other people are working through. I'm still working it through. Oh, we've got the order. Blitz, blitz, blitz away. Okay, so I have a list of stuff you folks wanted me to look at. What the heck? Gotta find the notes. This is a fun day today. Is everybody okay? We've got 600 and something strong. Gotta find my... Got to keep my notes, my questions, and everything in order. Okay, here it is. Okay, the first question is, people are concerned about Roe v. Wade. Is that correct? Because of all the crap that's going on with that, where they are trying to get control of our uteruses because they're perverts? I'm sorry. Okay, so Roe v. Wade is on the chopping block. I think we should send all the physically disabled babies and severely handicapped to the Supreme Court with a beautiful bow and the millions and millions of dollars it's going to cost to keep those children alive. And since you've decided that the poor can come up with the money because you don't have universal health care, which is probably the reason why people are not able to take care of these children. So they wind up in the system, which will, of course, come out of the state of Texas, their money, and the federal money that it's going to cost. So I think we should put them all, nice bow, so they can care for all of the physically disabled children and all the other challenges that are going to come about. Drug addicted children, children with severe birth defects, damage due to alcohol and drugs. There'll be lots more of those. Lots more physically disabled, lots more crime too. When you don't have abortion, you have higher crime rates because you have more children thrown away and thrown into orphanages where they will be molested and abused. And then to survive, they have to engage in petty crime, and then they will self-medicate with drugs, and the beat goes on. So we know for a fact that crime goes up when we take away abortion. Poverty increases. Lots of bad things happen. And the states go bankrupt paying for it. Fetal alcohol syndrome? Yep. No cure. If you choose to have a child who's severely physically disabled, that's your right, and I acknowledge that. But judging another parent that couldn't handle that burden and didn't have the financial resources to have mom stay home 24 hours a day to keep the child alive, and the economic, the drugs and the medication and the physical therapy, et cetera, and the private schooling and everything else, a child with special needs, that's great but it should be the parent's choice. All right, Roe v. Wade. Let's do the Blitz. Oh, here comes the courts. Lady Justice regarding abortions in America. Ace of Wands. It's a new beginning in the courts. A false night. Somebody in the courts, probably Kavanaugh, is promising to smooth things out, but they cannot be trusted. A young male on the courts. What happened in Texas will lead to a blind road that will go nowhere. That's what they're saying. I'll get the clarification. There's a new beginning in the courts. They will start to permit abortion even though it's not legal because of the financial cost of not allowing abortion. They'll do the calculations. Look, you can see here a new beginning, but you can see frugality. It's going to cost them it's going to be financially devastating. Every child that's going to be born that has to be taken care of, that the parents could not care for, has to be taken in by the state and by the feds. And so we have to think about that. For every person who had an addiction or was poor or uneducated or had a child with Down syndrome or some other severe genetic disability, it's not like you can go do genetic testing and saying, I'm sorry, your child has A, B, and C. And you say, well, I don't have the money or resources. Well, the state will come in and take the baby. And then the state has to absorb the cost. It's about the night and the money. The cost of the care from the government to care for these tens of thousands of babies. That adoption is all well and good when you think you're getting a healthy, beautiful baby. But what if that's not the case and you think you're getting a healthy, beautiful baby and you wind up with a baby that has severe brain damage that wasn't detected until you took the baby home? But I wanted to be a good person and the judgment will be in our favor. And I'm sorry to say the reason why they're going to be tolerating abortion and slithering around to make it available despite these laws is because it's too expensive, not because they care about children. The powers that be looked at the bottom line. They looked at the money and what it was going to cost them. And for that reason, they're going to come up with ways to make sure that the poorest of the poor can have abortions because they don't want to pay for it. The false night, the issue of the money. A decision based on our retirement. You can do it one of two ways. You can give women the right to choose, or you can say goodbye to your Social Security. Which is it? Social Security or Roe v. Wade? You want Social Security? You want Roe v. Wade? Oh, you think that all these children who these parents don't have the resources to take care of should be born? Okay. There goes your Social Security. Social Security. Well, the money has to come from somewhere. So it's going to come out of your Social Security. You wanted this. You made this choice. Where do you think the money's going to come from? Mars? That's why Roe v. Wade. That is why attempts by the feds to stop abortion is going to go up in smoke, because very, very quickly they're going to realize that this is an economic disaster, just like it was an economic disaster during the orphan trains, right? Where they just put all these kids, some of whom had alcohol syndrome, they just threw them on trains where they were molested and abused some more. And what they did is they put them in working camps. They said, oh, we're going to send them to the farm, which meant basically they were slaves on a farm. And many of them died. That was the orphan trains. You know, my parents were part of that. They were just bounced around from orphanage to during the my biological father was born in 1925 and spent all of his life in and out of prisons, starting in juvenile hall, and then literally spent his entire life bounced around from one penitentiary after another. So that was the legacy of the orphan trains. Okay. Vasectomies. Interesting idea. Okay. We're moving on. That is my lecture, my angry lecture about taking away. People don't think about the economic consequences, and they say, we'll take every baby. Yes, but you haven't taken every baby. That's why 500,000 children are still in foster care, many with severe disabilities, living horrible lives, because nobody is taking these children. You keep saying you're going to take these children. Then why do we have so many kids in foster care awaiting permanent placement? You are not going to take these children. You never intended on taking these children. If you had done that, we wouldn't have a foster care system. And the fact that the state and the feds don't want to spend money on those children, trust me, I know, I used to be one. So, yeah, it's great. If you are willing to pay and give all the love and attention needed, that's great. Forcing somebody else is a whole other story. Okay, so there's a couple more things we are dealing with in this crazy time. Anybody have any comments about that? They want more white. Who knows what they want? I mean, I think they just want to control women's uteruses regardless. I mean, it's terrifying, right? How many crazy people are in positions of power. Now, if you remember from the last remote, we talked about the fact that January 6th, we're starting to see things coming together with January 6th, and we're starting to also see that there are charges made. Here is the thing about the charges. Not everybody in Congress is equal. Would you agree that not everybody in Congress is equal? So there's a difference between, say, just going to turn my phone off. There's a difference between, say, a congressperson that has a GED, right, and a congressperson that's part of the elite that went to Harvard or Yale, right? So here's what it feels like. It feels like people like Boebert and Gosser, who are loud and crazy and uneducated, will probably be thrown to the wolves when the powers that be are done with them. So you have the people, the wheeling and dealing, the high-powered people who are manipulating this whole thing, the Ivy League people that are sending their gremlins out to do their work for them. You have the Marjorie Taylor Greens, you have the Boebert, Congresswoman Boebert, you have crazy Paul Gosar. They're the crazy, uneducated people that are going out and raising the money. And when the powers that be are done using them, they will be thrown to the wolves. Now, somebody had said to me, well, you know, Boebert should get, that should happen to Boebert because what happened, you know, if men are going to go to prison, so should women. But that's not what you're seeing with Gosar. And that Gosar's not uneducated, but he's crazy did he go to Harvard? I mean, the thing with Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene is that they're used as long as they are going to be used, and then they're going to be thrown to the wolves. But let's go ahead and do a throw just on the January 6th commission, because I'm pretty sure we're going to start seeing. Right, exactly. Boebert has a GED. So she can be thrown to the wolves, and then we can say, well, we did something to it. We threw Boebert to the wolves. But the people that engineered it, the people who really were in charge, the money that was behind it, that's what they do. They find the weakest link and they send the weakest link out to be dealt with. So this is the January 6th commission. This week. I want to just see what's going on this week. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do 12 cards. Does that work for you? Yeah, useful idiots. Exactly. So how it looks right now is it has to do with the money and people who got themselves in the situation because they took the money. You can see the karma card. They did this to themselves. They put themselves in this situation, and it's going to be linked back to money, large sums of money. So they followed the money. It's always about following the money. Where the commission is right now, some people will fall. I see 5 indictments. You can see 3 straight up. So we're looking at 3 people potentially being targeted, but there's 5 indictments. The bigwigs may get away with it. I still see Bannon having to testify in an investigation outside the United States, and we're going to see charges within 1 month. You see the 1 month, Ace of Wands is entrepreneurship, new beginnings, but it's also a 1 month period because wands are 1 month. What is above us? Double aces, Ace of Cups, offers to testify regarding a new beginning over grief. I think that they're wrapping up a big part of this. A part of the preliminary investigation, I think, has already happened because you've got a Knight of Pentacles sitting in the 3rd house, and Knight of Pentacles would indicate it's a slow, steady investigation, but it would also indicate that some part of the investigation is now transitioning. Also, I feel really good actually about how this investigation is being handled. The fact that it's discreet, the fact that nothing's getting leaked, similar to what happened with Robert Mueller. You can see that nice king or the emperor, which would be sound, sane judgment. And I still see negotiations happening. Who's going to flip? Who's not going to flip? Because 10 of Pentacles is the family inheritance, but it also has an aspect of families, little family secrets, right? This is why if you get a card like the 10 of Pentacles, which has to do with family inheritance, if it's inverted or depending upon the cards that are associated with it, it can be associated with creepy, sleazy things from the family, child abuse, child molestation, incest, for example. If this was, for example, attached to a devil card or something like that, we would be looking at potentially child abuse in the family. The fact that this is the investigation over, it's also spying within one's family or group. Something creepy is coming, and some kind of an offer that potentially would be exposing some kind of business deal that's going on in the family. Where the people are right now, the people that are about to be charged, I feel that they have a feeling in this energy that they cannot trust one another. They honestly don't know. I don't know who's flipped and who hasn't flipped. I don't know what rights I have. As Bobert, I don't know who I can talk to because I don't know who's talking to the feds. You can see here 7 of Cups. I have no idea what the hell's going on. I don't even know who I can call because Mark Meadows is now been advised by his attorneys to hand over everything. So he's completely cooperating. So that's why you have, even if Mark Meadows gets indicted, he may be able to throw somebody else under the bus. And so you wind up in the situation with the 7 of Cups where I now don't know who the hell I can trust. The other in relationship with me is the issue of star. So star witness, it can be somebody who has to testify. I think Mark Meadows may be one of those star witnesses. Bannon does very well being a secret little sleazy informant, but final outcome is justice prevails. You can see King of Wands stepping in, and the archetypes, he is strong leadership. I think we'll definitely see some, the star witnesses. You know what's going to happen is that the star witness is going to have to testify against their own family members, and I can tell you why I see this, because you have this family secrets and family members spying on one another. The other in relationship to it, the star witness heartbroken because of a betrayal, which is what I was looking for when I saw that family inheritance card. You can see it right here with the 3 of Swords. So these are the family members literally having to stab one another in the back. And this is why you have Bobert's card over confusion. She honestly, the people she thought she could trust are now turning state's evidence. And then the hopes and the fears. This is going to be happening really quickly, smoother waters. And you can see that 8 of Wands moving into position, 9th house, would indicate that the investigation is now happening very quickly, and some kind of a testimony from a star witness. I'm assuming they're talking about Mark Meadows is ultimately going to result in prosecution and same outcome for the ringleaders as last week, only now it's coming much closer, with the outcome being the same as last week. The Tower. 5 indictments, 3 people in very serious hot water. Pretty easy to read those cards, and the same outcome as last week. What do y'all think? Crazy, huh? Look at Boebert. She was betrayed. You know, it goes back to what that woman who was one of the instigators, who the trans woman, traitors. Every time I would go into her remote, you betrayed us. The people that are talking, complete confusion. I thought I could trust you. Gossip amongst the family members, heartbreak. You know, it's. What did one of you had said last week to me? There's no honor amongst thieves. There's no honor amongst thieves. It goes back to what Robert Mueller had said to Michael Cohen. You want to avoid prison for the rest of your life because we got a lot of dirt on you, and you're never mind what Trump did. We got stuff on you. Start making some damn phone calls. If don't waste my time. If you're not going to make phone calls, if you're not going to cooperate with this investigation, don't waste my time. He spent 40 hours with Robert Mueller, right? He did not waste Robert Mueller's time. And the same here with those types of cards, 3 of Pentacles or 3 of Swords coming in regarding gossiping or spying from other people involved. 5 of Cups coming in, 3 people will fall. I think the 3 people may be Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Paul Gosar. But you've got 2 others that possibly are going to get away with it. It's crazy cards. Whew. Look, no matter what the Supreme Court decides, the powers that be are going to make sure that some way, somehow, when they start to see the fine, look, all you have to do is calculate the cost. Remember the Great Depression before abortion was legal? Remember the orphan trains? It's coming back. Hope you can afford that, Texas. Yeah. Not good, right? Definitely not good. Okay, so people wanted to also check to see you guys are asking some really great questions. I don't even know where to start here. Jeez Louise, these are some great questions. Let's go ahead and since we're already there, I think that's a really great question. Sherry Clark wants to know about the future Supreme Court. And also, I just wanted to again say thank you. We are playing today for the Southern Poverty Law Center. The Southern Poverty Law Center is a wonderful organization that helps support human rights. So that's what we're playing for. Okay, the future of the Supreme Court. We'll do a blitz, just 4 cards. Part of what Biden wants to do is create strong relationships with the governors and strong relationships with the states, so that the feds have a strong relationship with the states will help protect us beyond the Supreme Court. Also, it's an issue of money, bribes, and it's almost like it's a paid court. You can see here the partnership. The issue had to do with money or bribes that put people in positions of power. There's also something here about Knight of Swords or angry, frustrating, people being angry and frustrated, and a new beginning coming to the courts by April of 2022. So we could be seeing a new person on the bench by April of next year. And the clarification over that, double aces, justice over money within 1 year. We're going to see the courts changing within 1 year. We get our wish. The new beginning in April. Yeah, it's a huge shakeup. There are 2 or 3 people on the bench that are going to be leaving under Biden. I also, for some reasons that I don't entirely understand, see people leaving that should, I don't understand why they would be leaving, because I thought they were healthy. The first guy that Trump put in is telling me he's leaving. What's that guy's name? And he's, by the way, one of the most right-wing. The only person more right-wing than him is Justice Thomas. I see Justice Thomas leaving. Feels like when you go into his energy, like he's diabetic, and possibly has coronary artery disease. So I don't think he's going to be there long. Also, there's just too much of an investigation going on with his wife, Ginny, even though I think she's protected from prosecution. I think Gorsuch is not going to be on the bench for very long. There's something, look, if he stays, there's a huge shakeup and a new beginning. And like I said, it's starting in spring of 2022. And I see potentially 2-3 people leaving. And for some bizarre reason, I don't think Gorsuch is stable. I don't know why. And I don't think Thomas is healthy. I don't even know why he's still there. Thomas is not well. I think that's, I'm not just meaning intellectually or whatever. He's not well. I don't even know why he's still there. There's a lot of pressure on him to leave. Yeah, I don't think Kavanaugh is the one that's unstable, believe it or not. I think for whatever reason, Gorsuch is more unstable. And I don't know if it's because of health concerns or what, but I really don't feel he's stable right now. It's very strange. Thomas does have health problems. I think he may have already had a heart attack at least once. I mean, he's not well. Barrett's not going anywhere. She's young and healthy. Okay. Oh, Clarence Thomas's astrology is on Reddit. I think he needs to go take care of himself. He's about, 50 pounds overweight. I'm pretty sure he's a diabetic. And I mean, he should go take care of his health and deal with the fact that his wife is crazy. The other thing that Biden could do is he could stack the courts. So you have 2 or 3 people leaving and a potential stacking of the courts. He doesn't want to do that because it could create a precedent. But term limits would be a great idea, wouldn't they? Okay. Yeah, it's very depressing with Roberts. All right, so people wanted me to check elections, but which early dementia? I don't know. Well, if you have diabetes and coronary artery disease, you're actually at greater risk for diabetes because dysregulation, blood sugar dysregulation can lead to an increased risk for white matter, plaques in the brain. So, yeah, something's not totally kosher there. I see it going up in smoke because all you have to do is calculate the financial cost. You want to pay for an abortion, or do you want to pay to take care of this severely disabled child for the next 50 years? Let's go ahead and calculate it, Texas. Where's the money going to come from, Texas? Have you really thought this through? When you say you're going to take every child, do you really know what you're talking about? Boebert is going to be thrown to the wolves, Karen. You're absolutely right, because she's the weakest link. She's not one of us. right? It's classism. Well, you don't speak English the way we do, and you only have a GED. You're there to be used and discarded like trash. Sorry, honey. Right, birth control, and also you could be reducing the number of abortions simply by giving basic information and basic medical information. Oh no, God forbid our children should know where babies come from, right? All right, I want to just do a throw on the meeting between Biden and Putin just because of what Putin said, and I got to take a look at this meeting. I'm just too curious, aren't you? Do you think it's going to go? We already know what Putin has to say, right? Was anybody surprised by what Putin said in his remote? Why he got into oil? Uh, the fact that he's not going to stop until we give him he really wants the Ukraine. The big surprise for me was that he had been poisoned. He was claiming that he got poisoned. That's kind of new information, right? If his own people, if his own spies use ricin on him more than once, then his response would be, yeah, because they're an informant for the CIA. So the CIA did it to me. It's Lena referred to Boebert as not the sharpest tool in the shed. Yeah, that's true. Okay, I want to see about the meeting. We'll just do 4 cards, just because I got to take a look, just because of that conversation I had with him this morning. It's just in the remote. It was very entertaining. That's new, but nobody knew, right? It wasn't public information. I love when he gives us information. He gives us scoops that we don't otherwise know. Still has neuropathy. He owns his people like a dog, and like a dog, he has them on a chain. If you have a relationship with him, if you have a relationship with his government, FSB, it's like the chain is there. It's a feeling like, come along, dog. He drags you around. He likes this imagery of the dog and the chain. And you can either accept reality or face the consequences. He can't be trusted. He comes as the false knight. There are negotiators and mediators that are crossing their T's and dotting their I's and doing everything they can to try and have this be as pleasant a meeting as possible. Look, the bottom line is that he's actually, whether we like him or not, I think he is saying in the remote that he has a legitimate argument. He's saying, well, what did he say? Let's go back to what he actually said. He's accusing us of being in violation of international laws, isn't he? He's claiming that we're the ones breaking the law, isn't he? Do you think he's right? We're violating trade laws, commerce laws, terrorizing the neighborhood. Funds that were used to sell oil were used basically to engage in terrorism against him and Eastern Europe. Also, they had a monopoly on oil. He said we are in violation of oil, land, and water rights. We also violated his right to commerce. We violated his right to move his trade. So having our best lawyers go in and try and twist the facts is not the way to have peace with Putin, because Putin feels like we screwed up. And then the final outcome, fool takes a leap of faith. So I think they're trying to create a new deal. Look, he's not going to stop until he gets the Ukraine. How are we going to work this out? I mean, that's what I would like to know. How are we going to... Thank you, Fat City, for that Very generous donation of $20 to the Southern Poverty Law Center. I don't know, man. Masters and Fool and a New Beginning. But if the guy is not, look, over the addiction. Oh, he wants his people back. He doesn't want any spies that would be charged, anybody like that we are holding, or spies in CIA jails or anything like that. Just bring them back to me. So we've got people potentially and spies, and he wants to get his people back, which would indicate that his informants or people with the FSB are somehow being held somewhere. I don't know if we have control of Deripaska or what the situation is, but he's talking about return back to me what's mine, meaning my community, my people, my spies, etc. You can see a 6 of Swords. So there's possibly a prisoner exchange going on. This person doesn't belong to you, they belong to me. Let's talk. So if we have people in our possession or control, that becomes a bargaining chip with Putin. That's basically what they're saying. And his offer, he wants a new contract. You can see very clearly, but he's the false knight. Be careful with that, America. Yeah, we're holding his people, and we're potentially we're holding his spies. Over the contract with experts, it has to be mutually beneficial to both parties, and it has to be based on our ethics and their ethics. They have to be aligned. This is actually looking, I don't know how they're going to work out that whole Ukrainian thing. We will reach a deal with Putin for a ceasefire of this internet attack. And it has to do with renegotiating his trade based on ethics and values that they can both agree on. There's a new contract coming in, and you can see the end result is joyous. We take the leap of faith, ethics, the legal experts, the contract with the false knight, wanting to return back to him, potentially spies or people that we currently have control over. So that's the deal. So if we've got 40 people or we've got control of them and America doesn't know anything about it in CIA prisons or whatever, we're going to give him his people back. You know, he's like the Papa. He wants his people back. He also wants to debrief them and find out what they told the Americans. You know, give me my 40 people back. That this is important to him. He's got to get these people back. If we have control of Deripaska, we've already raided Deripaska, right? He's probably facing charges both in the United States and in The Hague, right? So this is, come on, let's stop this nonsense. Give me my people back, and we will negotiate. Well, how do you feel about what Putin's saying? Do you feel does anybody here to some extent feel like America did screw up? I know we love our country and all, but do you think that what Putin is saying here when I profiled him, do you feel like he is saying something that, is it true? Are we I mean, I don't know. I'm not an expert in these things, but are we in violation of, according to him, violation of oil, land, and water rights, rights of commerce, rights to move trade, et cetera, et cetera? Is he right? Because if he's right, then playing I hate you, you hate me is kind of missing the point. Whether we like it or not, if we told Russia that they were going to have all this great stuff if they broke their country down and then violated, then he has a legitimate argument, and he's not going to stop until we fulfill our obligations post-Soviet Union. That is basically what he is saying. And so he wants a new contract in writing. They're both going to have to be fools, take the leap of faith, and tentatively enter into a trust relationship. And America is going to have to do what it said it was going to do the first time around. That is basically as close to directly I can get of what he's saying. He doesn't trust us either, Linda. So, all right. So we're going to have to close pretty soon. Let's go ahead and do one more, and then everybody can go and check out all the other great readers that are out there today. I do want to check on Kamala Harris. I hope she's okay. She told me she wants to step down as VP, by the way. She doesn't want to be there anymore. She doesn't want to be the VP. It's a feeling she feels. I don't know if this is not a good place for her. She needs to be in the courts. It would have been better for her to have been put on the Supreme Court. Look, if she steps down as VP and is promised a position on the Supreme Court, I don't think anybody would be weeping, because that's where she belongs. She either belongs as Attorney General, which is a job already taken. Merrick Garland should have been on the Supreme Court, and she should have been AG. So everything is wrong. She doesn't belong there. She's too powerful to be the VP. The VP is like an ambassador to the president. Come on, this is not what you do with a woman like this. This is a genius. She's a legal genius. She should be either on the Supreme Court or AG. I think we'd all agree that she's just sitting there twiddling her thumbs, right? That's what's wrong. She's a fighter. She's a freedom fighter. That's why she's miserable. I actually agree with her. It's not the right place for her, so much so that I think she wants to step down as VP, which surprised me. I thought, isn't this powerful? I mean, you're the most second. No, I'm not powerful. I'm being blocked in every turn. I think he wants Buttigieg or Klobuchar. He didn't want it to end this way. It's just not a good match. It's not like anybody did anything wrong. It's just this is not where her heart is at. She wants to be running the investigations. She wants to be the one sitting there with Barr on the witness stand. She can't do that. She has to be apolitical, just smiling and helping to plant Christmas trees. It just doesn't work for her. It's just a bad match. Kamala Harris's future. She wants to investigate. She's very concerned about dark money. Her situation will change by April of 2022, excuse me. So by April of 2022, yes, she should be AG, and she would have been a hell of an AG. She helped elect Biden, but this is coming from her. This is not coming from outside of her. She's saying she doesn't want to be there, that she can't get any work done, this is not the right place for me. She's watching the money. She's very concerned about dark money. She's very concerned about pay to play, Citizens United. By spring of 2022, we have a new beginning, and her situation is going to get better. Now, does that mean she becomes president? Does that mean she goes off and does something else and becomes Supreme Court? Let's see. Regarding the investigation, she wants to investigate the dark money and Citizens United. You can see the dark money, the harvesting, and then you can see her investigating. That's where her passion is. She wants to fight the good fight. In April, yeah, she's not even hard to read. Look at this. In April, she will begin, there he is, Loki, the trickster, who's stealing money and moving it here and moving it there. That's the investigation that she wants to do with how they make their money. April, the time of Aries, the fourth month, right? We read wands as months. The fourth month is April, a new beginning. You can read, you don't need me. It's a new beginning in her relationship. There's something here about the police or possible charges and a new beginning in what's happening with Donald Trump. You can see here in April, There's Trump. It has to do also with investigations leading back to Trump and how the presidency was bought and sold. Look at this juxtaposition of the trickster next to Trump's card. The final outcome, smoother waters for Harris by April of next year. She's going to start sticking up for herself. She's going to start she has to be able to do things her way. You can see a two of swords coming in. Things get better, no negotiation. The clarification for her, I have to do one more clarification. She gets her wish regarding being able to investigate criminal investigation into dark money. A new beginning, a new investigation starting in April of 2022, hauling evidence. She wants to oversee it. Regarding a new phase in the investigation against Trump and his business dealings, a judgment. There will be a judgment by April of next year. Her future as the VP. Queen of Hearts. Trying to help, trying to fight the good fight. She wants to resign. I can't blame her. She can't do what she wants to go after the dark money. She wants to go after Barr. She's got to just sit there and be this friendly ambassador. It's just driving her crazy. At the same time, people are like, no, you can't leave. The women of this, you need to stay there. But I'm not doing anything. I'm just a placeholder. That's what's going on with her. I don't know what the resolution. Look, they're going to have to give her more power, and they need to give her more power. And I think that's, in a way, she's like Meghan Markle in the sense that she's a woman of color who's highly educated, who relies on no one, and that is why she's a threat. Let's be honest here. All right. So either she's going to have to be given more power and not be muzzled, or she's going to have to be put in another position because it is what it is. All right. That was awesome. Possum. Wasn't that fun? Did y'all have fun? All right. As everybody make sure to share, like, subscribe. Also, I'm selling gift cards, tarotwithwhimsy.com, if you want to give the gift of a tarot reading and remote viewing to anybody you love. Tarotwithwhimsy.com if you would like to have a reading, but also gift cards. I think gift cards are fun. Oh, the last thing I was going to say is that we have spa day now for the fairies and angels. So if you become a fairy and angel, it's only $2, and I know I keep it cheap. $2.99 a month, and we do free blitzes for people, so we can get to your questions. Last time we did spa day was Thursday, but you get to decide when you want to have your spa day if you are a fairy and an angel. If you are a remote viewer, HCRV class is starting up again. Now, people are complaining. We graduate the first teaching class Wednesday. People are complaining, though, that we interrupt Rachel Maddow, so maybe we'll come a little earlier and do the show earlier on Wednesday if that works better for people. All right. And yeah, and if you can donate to the Southern Poverty Law Center, we would love you if you did. If you are a moderator, you get 15% off your tarot readings, remote viewings, if you are a moderator here. We don't pay the moderators, but we give them a nice discount. All right, love and light, everyone. You guys are always so much fun. And now I'm going to go play over at Pal's Books. Oh, before I left, what's the story with Chris Cuomo? Porter for Senate. You know what? We still got 740 people here. Let's do a quick one on Porter for Senate since people are still sticking around. Oh, why not? Why not? If you got to go, if there's another reader, you can go. But what the heck? I got to look at Porter for Senate. Oh, there's a couple we didn't do today. Oh, okay. We're going to stay for an extra 10, 15 minutes, okay? Because there's just so much stuff I got to look at. Okay, Porter for Senate, then Ghislaine Maxwell, right? Porter for Senate. I love this. Ooh, fighting the good fight. Look at that. It's about fighting the money, the dark money, the corruption, watching. What did I tell you? Don't you just love it when I say it before it comes out? Watching the money, fighting the good fight. The money, she's trying to protect our 401. Look, they're going to take our, if we don't stop them, they're going to take our Social Security. We don't have it anyway. We're not going to have, we don't have enough money for Social Security because of all the new babies that are going to be born that nobody can take care of. I don't know if she's going to win. She's got a 3 of Swords there. Let's do a, somebody's betrayed or fighting the good fight. Yeah, it's justice. Oh, justice again. Look at that. The feds coming in. Justice, interesting. Justice over fighting the good fight. Yeah, she's kept fighting. I really think they're going to try and pick away at our Social Security. That's kind of scary. She has to be very careful about not trusting anybody who comes as a false knight. She has to be very careful about who she trusts if she wants to win this thing. I got to do one on Ghislaine Maxwell because the testimonies are so revolting. Anybody keeping track of this Ghislaine Maxwell thing? Sick. Okay, so okay. I can't deal with the Maxwell coverage either. I mean, I was a hostage for the first 15 years of my life. So people like this, for my own mental health, there are certain things I can't watch. So basically, they're trying to negotiate a deal. They were trying to negotiate something where a plea deal. And then what happened is that they rejected the case. They were trying to get her to basically plead to certain things and she refused. That was what happened. They keep going back to the fact that she had been an informant for the Americans. She had been an informant for the Israelis. She had been an informant for the British and British intelligence. She was getting on the boats. She was letting them know certain things. And so she felt like she had all this protection. The truth is coming out regarding some aspects of this case that had not been made public. As a result, the defense is probably in trouble. You can see the 5 of Swords. See, the thing is, they felt like they should have some protection. The judge is allowing evidence that they had previously wanted not to be admissible. There is quite a bit of evidence, including film footage and some of the stuff that was retrieved that had not been previously made public, possibly film footage, etc., of people at these parties. The point is that the judge in the case is allowing that evidence, which was a huge blow to the defense. That's what happened. walking away the defense, which had thought they had a strong case because of a judge's decision regarding they didn't want certain evidence to be admitted. And then it's when is justice going to be about justice? And then the final outcome is Star over the ace of wands. She'll probably be convicted within a month. I still see her facing additional charges, and I still see people in other countries trying to get her out of there. But the defense's case got wiped out because the judge allowed certain evidence to be submitted that they had a petition not to be submitted and certain testimonies. So that's what basically takes out Ghislaine Maxwell. Okay, so thank you, everyone. Love, and don't be afraid for your Medicaid or anything like that. There are more of us than them. All we have to do is get organized. All right. See you all later. Please support the other readers. I will see you next time. And let me know when you want to have spa day, those of you that are fairies and angels, so that we can all get together and have drinks and dress in our spa clothes and hang out and give ourselves tarot readings. All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time. Peace out.